Really don't know if I like that. Just saying. That's something. That's all I'll tell you. Now, when I walked in today, what the hell were you laughing so much about? You walked out of crosstalk. You were laughing your ass off. What did I miss?
Evan's plane story.
Which one?
I didn't know that somebody was sitting in a seat. Man was sitting in a seat.
That dude had no legs.
Yeah, Evan was trying to talk to him, and I guess he didn't speak English. And then I guess Evan was trying to get the man to get up until he realized that he didn't have any legs. So,
yeah, but was he in a seat?
Yeah.
Well, then somebody's going to need to come and give you an assist.
So I was just like,
well, I mean, my whole point is, like, I never understand, like, you know what your seat is. Whether you have legs or not, you know what your seat is. It says it right there on the ticket.
I'm about to say, unless you don't, and somebody just sits you there, and then.
Well, then you tell them, this is my ticket. That's not my seat.
Yeah. Unless they didn't want to be bothered.
Did Evan end up moving the guy?
No.
Yeah.
No, I guess he felt bad.
Did Evan get stuck in the middle?
I don't know. David, is Devin still out there?
I'll find him.
I'll talk to him later. Figure it out. Yeah, he told me that story the other day, and I go, only you.
Right. I was just like, wait, because Doug was like, was your flight as bad as Evan's? I was like, oh, I mean, it was crowded. I thought it was going to be a lot of drunk people on the plane. It really wasn't.
No, the first thing was more egregious. We don't need to get into it, though. The one that involved the potato chips.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't need to do that. We'll save that, I guess, for, half past never. I want to get into something here, and look, I don't know. I haven't been a part of it. I'm not watching it, but I was actually thinking of sampling it tonight. Was the WBC. You watched any of this?
No, I've seen the replay of the walk-off home run by Japan, but no, not. I mean, I've followed it, but I haven't been watching it.
Trey Turner's Grand Slam got a lot of play. But see, I talked to David. This is why I brought this up. David says, I've watched all of it. Every game for America. I'm like, what? So in the midst of this is classic baseball, too. Way to have the WBC in the middle of the NCAA tournament.
Right.
Awesome planning. But USA's playing Japan tonight for the championship. It's been a sold-out Marlins Stadium. Big crowds. It's been fun. People seem to enjoy it. I haven't had time for it. Like tonight, I was thinking of sampling it, and I wanted to know have I really been missing out? I mean, people, if you're out there and you've watched it, let me know on this. I have a hard enough time with regular baseball at this point in my life. I'm not sure I can watch exhibitions. Now, yes, the Edwin Diaz thing made news because Edwin Diaz, his year is over. He blew his knee out celebrating.
I think the quality thing is, unlike pretty much every other All-Star game, the stars are playing. Like, the best players are out there representing their countries, and it's competitive. It's not like the two-hand touch, I don't really want to do anything. It's not the 1917 hockey NHL All-Star game. These are competitive games.
Well, and there's personality. You know, I heard Doug and Scott talking about it with Randy Arozarena and the celebration, the stare down, the stuff, and you go, all right, maybe I can get down with this. I'm going to try it tonight, just see, like, if it's entertaining, but if it's not good, I'm gone. But, David, you've watched all this?
Yeah, I've watched all the American games. My son has me watching them.
I knew there had to be a hook, a reason.
But it's been exciting watching Trey Turner hit a grand slam to beat Venezuela late in that game. The atmosphere, that's really been the greatest games when they've come to the elimination portion. Of course, you know, the group, it's not the same.
Oh, you weren't excited about Italy and their espresso machine?
No, I was not excited about that, watching America versus Canada. But, yeah, USA beating Venezuela, and then the other day blowing out Cuba. That was an exciting game. So, you know, I've been watching it. It's been fun. All
right, so my question is anyone else? See, I don't know what the TV ratings are for it. And I don't know what the appetite is for it. I really don't. And we go through this all the time. You know, baseball, the biggest thing, the talking point has been spring training, the rules changes. There's data showing you the games are 30 minutes shorter. There's data showing you're getting over 2.5 steal attempts a game. Obviously, without the shift, certain players are going to benefit more. I saw some data on Kyle Schwarber. No one lost more hits to it. It would have raised his average like 17 points.
Wow.
I know he goes from like 228 to 240, but no, it was more I think we always do this, Rico, with baseball, is we try to find ways to tell you that it's all going to be okay, that the sport's going to be fixed and it's going to be exciting, and none of it ever works. So, look, whether it's the WBC, is that getting fans involved? I don't know, maybe. I mean, is David's kid one of those people? Maybe. The rules changes, is that going to fix the fact that I'd argue half the owners in baseball don't want to win? That they just collect a check?
I think that's, honestly, Mike, I think that's the biggest thing. You could change all the rules that you want, but when you get that billionaire welfare check, whether you win or lose, you have no desire to make your team competitive, and you hold your fans in your city hostage because, well, what do you want me? I can leave if you want. It's like, no.
Well, that's what Cincinnati's owner said. Basically, be careful what you wish for. You're lucky you have a team. You bunch of pores.
Right. Now,
that's kind of what the Reds owner said.
Now go enjoy that mediocre baseball.
Right.
I mean, maybe you know this. I couldn't believe it, but I thought I read that Ken Griffey Jr. is the 4th highest payer on the payroll of Cincinnati. Like, they're still paying him.
It's one of those Bobby Bonilla situations.
But he's making the 4th highest amount, and he's been gone for a while.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, and I mean, look, you can do the same thing. I think it's Miguel Cabrera makes more money than the entire Oakland A's payroll. There's lots of stats you can do. I just wondered, look, the WBC seems to be more festive, more lively, more of the fun, the things that I think people do want. I don't think it's going to translate to the regular season, but I am going to try to watch some of it tonight and just see if I can get into this at all.
You know what it is, and it's I'm not diminishing it, but I think, Mike, it's almost the upscale, supersized Little League World Series, where it's it's country versus country, and it's competitive, and your nationalism kicks in, and you don't really care about it. You just want to see America do well, or you want to see your country do well. And yes, I'm not saying that they're a bunch of little leaguers, but it's that same sensation that people get every year when the Little League World Series happens, and then baseball kind of falls off.
Do you know that's
again.
an event I never got into?
Little League World Series?
Not as a kid.
Really?
Not as a young adult. Not as a crusty old man now. Never. I hate it. The only time I liked it is when the Team America had that 30-year-old kid out there, Danny Almonte. Kid was firing like 95-mile-an-hour cheddar at 13-year-olds.
I mean, I liked it back when I was 12, and the team from where I was at made it to the regional.
Is this back when you abandoned the Lions as well?
I'd already abandoned the Lions.
Gotcha. Okay, just making sure.
It taught me a valuable lesson because I was the last one cut off that team, but yet I had to still go watch the team play.
This was like your Michael Jordan moment?
It was.
You got left.
It was. My mother was like, no, you're going to go and you're going to watch your friends play. And I'm like, I'm praying to God they lose the first game. And I'm like, wow, you guys made it all the way to the regional.
Boy, doesn't that tell us a lot about him? Just rooting against his boys. I mean,
because the coach put his son on the team, and everybody told me, you're so much better than his
What was
kid.
the coach's name? Out him.
He's dead. So
well, good. Stamp on his grave. Let's talk about it. 248-539-9797. But WBC tonight, USA, Japan. Again, we'll get to some football at 3. We have a lot of ground to cover. Rico is going to single-handedly fix the Lions' backup quarterback position, and it doesn't involve a draft pick. I think that sounds pretty good in theory, right? We'll find out if Rico's really got a good idea or if he's just selling us, oregano posing as weed. We'll talk about it. We've got to get we got a new mock draft out that I actually would sign up for today, and one of the draft picks is controversial. But I want to know, tonight will be my first, last, and only with the WBC. I'll watch a little tonight.
Well, you'll enjoy it.
One of my boys who was on
You won't?
No, I'm watching it.
Oh, all right. Go ahead.
No, Damon Webb Sr.,
yes.
He was on that team. It was the 81 team. He was like, the guy's name was Leroy Campbell.
D-Webb. Leroy Campbell did Rico dirty.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about it.
Webb was on my Little League team. He made it. He was one of the starting pitchers.
So you rooted against him because you didn't make it.
So now Damon still talks to you even though you were hoping Damon got beaned.
I didn't hope they got beamed, but because the team never really made it that far. We would always lose the first couple of games and they were gone. But this team was stacked and made it all the way to they lost to a team from Florida with Gary Sheffield on it. So, yeah.
Leroy what?
Campbell.
Perfect. Okay. I do think at some point we should find like
and it was
a
so
photo of Leroy Campbell and put it
his-
up behind Rico.
But at the time, his son was like my best friend. But I'm like, I'm better than him. I should be on the team.
Right, but you weren't his kid, so you're
know.
out.
I found out
You're
it was a
out.
tough lesson.
Rico's Jordan moment.
Yeah.
Except you didn't become Roberto Clemente.
Yeah, he's no King Griffey Jr.
Nah,
Right.
I
You're
just-
sitting here with me.
That's right.
248-539.
Mistakes were made.
And somehow your friendship with Damon survived after you're hoping Damon gave up 7 earned and 2 1/3.
All my friendships with all the guys survived.
Even though you openly rooted against them and for injury.
Not injury.
Even though his son's relationship, you still had a
Yep.
relationship
Yeah.
with his son.
Yeah, me and Lonzo
Amazing.
still talk.
Interesting.
Amazing. So you're friends with this dude's son,
We were next. We lived next door to each other.
Leroy Jenkins' son.
Yes,
Unbelievable.
Leroy Jenkins.
we lived right next door to each other.
When
Yeah.
this guy die?
I don't know.
And where were you when he died?
Yeah.
Okay, you know what?
Did you attend the
You know
funeral?
what? You know what?
Did you attend the funeral?
No, I found out later.
You spiteful son of a.
You know what?
Rico
I'm sorry, Rico. I'm sorry, man.
David, Rico walked by, just looked at the body, nodded, walked out. He didn't even shake nobody's hand. Leave me off the team. Yeah? See what you got. And Rico closed the casket. Put him down. We're good. 97-1.